I'm still trying to get used to talking to a camera. I journal a bunch. I even do audio journals, but this is like a whole different animal. I don't know how the YouTubers, I don't know how these people do it. It's crazy. We bum, we don't bend. I digress. So, what's something you used to love, but, now feel disconnected from? Recently, I've felt disconnected from music, and to just give some context leading into it, how did this happen? How did I lead to feeling disconnected? Well, the whole reason I started music was like a career aspiration. That's why I learned guitar, because I wanted to write songs, and, everything I did that was music-based was kind of taking steps towards that goal, because I wanted to, entertain others, help them through music, connect through music, in return for positive attention, validation, and money. Because, musicians are known for their money, obviously. And then there were other, positives too, like, okay, I could be my own boss, cool-ass job, I get to, make loud noise, just social connections and community, and it was also just, like, a therapeutic outlet. I knew in my head that these were the reasons, why I wanted a music career, and I felt passionately about it. But I got to a point where I became more content in the idea of not having a music career. I no longer felt the drive to go after music like I used to. To make a long story long, I just realized I didn't need those fulfillments from a music career. I get all those fulfillments from within and just, the present life I'm living right now. I didn't need those things to be happy and content. I just kind of learned through life experience what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy. Like being my own boss, I actually kind of like structure and the forced discipline of having to be somewhere at a certain time. It also helps for having that work-life separation where I can just go to my job and do my job and leave it at that. That's a win. In hindsight, I just fantasized the idea of a music career. Keyword fantasized. Because, I really think it was just a crutch for areas in my life that were lacking, especially my social life. My close friends were busy, I wasn't in school, I wasn't working, and when I was with high schoolers, and, they were actually cool, but not relatable to my age, and, unlike Josh Giddey, I'm not going out with them, so I wasn't going out because I had no one to go with, which left me very little chance to date. And compounding that was the dreads and the wacky, gross-ass fucking pubescent facial hair thing I had going on. I don't think the ladies found it as conventionally attractive and as cool as the homies did, so yeah. All these contributing factors kind of made it so my social life wasn't really that existent. Well, and when I had this lack of a social life and wasn't dating especially, and these were the times where my drive for music was the strongest, and I think it was to fulfill that social need. Earlier this year I started serving, and I got along great with coworkers. I was just around people naturally from the job. I made friends, I socialized. The nature of the job, it was somewhere I had to be physically. I'd go there, I'd do my job and go home, so it was work I enjoyed. There were just a lot more social opportunities and a social atmosphere. My social life was just stronger, and it led to a better chance at dating. Just the fact that, okay, I'm actually getting out there now. Because who would have thought just staying at home, you're not gonna meet many girls that way. Who would have thought? I cut my hair in May. Again, story for another time. I loved them, but I thought I just felt normal, conventional. I looked better, and therefore I felt better. Which also helped with dating. Really helped with dating. Especially because, I met my pretty girlfriend Abby, who met me a year before I had dreads. I'm sorry, when I had dreads. And she was like, who the fuck is this freak? This is weirdo. She was like, you didn't get the time of day at all. And I don't blame her, When I had dreads, I was way too cool. If she had gotten with me then, she would have felt so bad about herself, because I was just way too cool. The point is just this year, I had just learned a lot about myself. I had more going for me all around. I was living a very balanced life, and I was enjoying it. I feel very balanced and just happy with what I do day to day, week to week. While this is amazing, I don't regret it, and I am more content than I've ever been, or my reasons to pursue music no longer applied. And that just kind of made me feeling lost and disconnected, because you know, I had gone after this for so long. This was such a big part of what I was doing. I still loved music. I knew I still loved it. It wasn't like, oh, I hate this shit or my songs suck. It was just something was like missing. I really think the best word is disconnected. I want to define pursue music as like writing, producing music, and then, you know, trying to get it in front of people, have them hear it, enjoy it, whatever. And with this definition of pursuing music, I just couldn't answer the question anymore of why. Why am I pursuing it? And it's kind of got me thinking about the reasons I think we feel disconnected from something. And I think it's just that, like, when our brains can't answer the question of, like, why? Why am I doing this? A lot of people my age can probably relate to this with college and even just what they're told of, like, do well in school, get a good degree, get a good job, to make money, to retire earlier. But what about after retirement? You know, it's like there's just all these goals and this blueprint laid out for you without, like, ever posing the question of why. I think that's probably why so many people don't feel connected to it, because they really don't know why they're there besides the fact that they're told to. And at least in my case with pursuing music, you know, especially this thing that I loved so much, like, it was such a big part of me, something I loved doing, yet, like, I just couldn't figure out why I was doing it. Spoiler, I was able to reconnect with music, you know, yay! I think, you know, you can reconnect with something, or simply just connect with something when you know the why. You know, in my case with pursuing music, it was like, my old reasons didn't apply to me anymore. What could be my new reasons now for, you know, sharing my music online and pursuing music according to my definition, you know, and justify the labor and doing all of this? Some of these will sound like no-brainers, but just the idea as a fun hobby and the use of my time, therapeutic, when I get a song that clicks with, like, exactly how I'm feeling. There is the potential for social connection and conversation and sharing stories idea, just that community and human aspect to it. I also wrote, like, money, and not the idea of a living or, like, you know, crack the whip, like, let me try to, like, milk people dry, but more so, like, just as a side gig. Like, I busk a lot, and that was always sweet. The fact that I could make some money while playing music, and it was like I could use that money on something like fun or important that's like financially guilt-free. If I could record a song professionally, you know, like in a studio, pro mixing and mastering, put it out there in a meaningful way, start these conversations, and then make money to where I could pay off that cost of recording, that would be the dream. Think of it like I could be recording for free, because it would pay itself off. That would be sweet. But even if it's not recording, even if it's like, alright, I have $20, like, let's go get some, like, beer, or like let me go buy a game, or, you know, play paintball, or take my pretty girl out. So, you know, music with all of these points can, instead of it being the main thing, they can be like supplemental to my life. It takes the pressure off, and it makes me pursue it in a way that I get excited about. And that brings me to the this mini acoustic EP called A Very Poor Choice of Words. Joker reference. Thought that was sweet. You know, while I was still feeling disconnected from music, I just kind of made this in the pursuit of reconnecting with music. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm in this funk, but I'm like, I'm just gonna record these 4 acoustic songs for fun, to have a project to work on. You know, no bullshit content, you know, tick of the box or marketing garbage or whatever. Just songs that I like, you know, simple scope on the project, and just put it out there. And so I really just made this for me. You know, the songs I chose were, you know, they're very emotional and mean a lot to me. And the thing that struck me the most was, like, just playing these songs, it just, like, teleported me back to the time and place and what I was feeling in the moment that I wrote them. Almost like you're flipping through a photo book. You know, in a way, this, like, mini acoustic EP is symbolic of me attempting to get back to the roots of why I love music. And why I love assaulting everyone with my off-key vocals and out-of-tune guitar, getting carried by Dave and Devin and Holden. Anyway, getting carried by others, that's the InUsWeMistrust way. You don't need talent, you just need really good people around you. Anyway, comes out Friday, December 8th, all major streaming platforms. As my terrible gameplay finishes out, I want to just show you a snippet of the last song on the EP called Show Your Face. because I feel like this really encapsulates that idea of traveling back to a time, place, and feeling from when I wrote it. Before my beautiful puka shell, champion sweatshirt wearing, unbathed looking ass departs, I just to reiterate my thesis statement. What's something you used to love but now feel disconnected from? Conversely, what's something you used to feel disconnected from but have since reconnected with? And how'd you do it? And how do you think you could reconnect with something you used to love? And should you? Let me know in the comments. Live, love, peace! That came out really well.
Why don't you show your face? Whatever reason, I'm just left outside on the sidewalk, spewing countless thoughts while my mind tries to work on brewing controversy that is spilling all around me, when all I want is peace and let be as the peace it should be.